Yeah, I guess we are live, so I think we can start. Okay, I think Bappy, we can start with your introduction. So first of all, thank you for joining for this Tech Talk podcast, Bappy. So I think you can start by introducing yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Tanmay. Thank you. Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Boktiar Ahmed Bappy, and currently I'm working as a data scientist and associate manager with Euron. Apart from that, actually, I'm also running one YouTube channel. So there, regular basis, I'm trying to create a content. So maybe you have seen on LinkedIn, on YouTube. Actually, I've been posting actually lots of videos. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so let me introduce myself also. So hi everyone, this is Tanmay, and today I'm your host. So I'm working as a ML engineer in PwC India, and alongside I'm also building few projects, and same I'm also posting on YouTube and LinkedIn and all. And today Bappe is with us, who is going to answer our questions based on some industries, right? Because he has a good amount of experience and he has implemented few more steps that he can guide us, maybe guide me and others, so that we can start our journey in generative AI, data science, and AI, whatever you say. So I guess Bappi, we can start by with the roadmap of as a data scientist. If I want to be a data scientist, what should be my roadmap? If I am a beginner, maybe I am in college, or maybe I just bust out my college. I'm a complete fresher. I have no idea about tech and all. I don't know anything about tech. So what should be the roadmap for us? I think we can start with that.
Okay. See, what I always suggest if you want to be a data scientist, first of all, let's say uh, understanding the roadmap, what you have to do, you have to understand like what is the work of a data scientist. Okay, if you're not sure about the work of a data scientist, so it would be a little bit difficult for you to find the roadmap, the proper roadmap you have to follow, right? What are the technology you should learn and what are the
Yeah.
technology you should use? Because nowadays you will see that so many actually tools and technologies are there, but as a developer we don't need to learn everything. So whatever actually we need, what I feel like I only should learn that particular technology, right? So if I tell you the work of a data scientist, so I think many people already know the life cycle of a data science project. Okay, we have already learned in your machine learning. I mean, whenever we used to learn the machine learning, now that time we learned work
Yeah.
of life cycle of a data science project. So there actually what happens actually there is a problem statement. Based on the problem statement, we have to first of all gather the requirement. So inside requirement, what you will have, you might have the data, you might have the tools and technology. So these are the things first of all you have to decide. Then based on that, what you have to do, you have to actually perform some of the EDA technique on top of your data. Okay, to understand about your data, like how I mean how you will be using this your data in your problem statement. So for this, we can use exploitative data analysis technique on top of it. Then we can perform something called feature engineering, modeling, hyperparameter tuning, model evaluation, and at the end we have to deploy this model in a cloud platform so that other people can use my product. Okay, so this is the complete data science project life cycle. Now this is where
Yeah.
actually data scientist comes into picture. So they will be working with this other technology. Okay, now if you want to be a data scientist, the first thing definitely, if you are using this kinds of technology, if you have to do the exploitative analysis, feature engineering, modeling, you have to avoid about the programming language. Now there are so many programming languages, which one you should actually start with.
Yeah, that's the
So
confusion actually comes up
uh,
for the fresher. The what should
yes.
I learn? The many
Mhm.
languages are there.
Mhm. Okay. Now I also get this kinds of question. I'm more like which programming language I should start with, because there are so many programming languages. See,
Yeah.
first of all, just try to see the programming language use cases. Now, if I talk about, let's say, C and C++, they are most used in the software development, right? Because these are actually machine level language. If you want to create an efficient software, and let's say if you want to expect this software would be running very fast. Okay, so these kinds of code you can write in a C and C++ code. But whenever talking about, let's say, data science, artificial intelligence, So here there are two programming language comes into picture. One is like Python, another is like R programming language. Now you can ask me which programming language I should pick up, whether Python or whether R. Now see, if you want to be a data analytics, like there is another job role you will see inside data science called analyst. Okay. Now what data analysts usually do, they will actually use the data, they will apply some statistical method on top of it, right? They will analyze the data properly. And to perform these kinds of statistical operation, we can use the R programming language, because inside R programming language, there are so many library which is already inbuilt, okay, related to statistics, related to the mathematics. So this will help you to do the proper ED on top of your data. But whenever I'm talking about data scientists, they will be also working with machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, yes or no. Now, these are the libraries already implemented inside Python. So Python will have all kinds of library. Nowadays, if you are working in the field of generative AI, you will see that LangChain, Llama Index, okay, all kinds of libraries are available inside Python. So that should be best choice if you are using Python programming language, if you want to start with your career with the data science domain, right? So that is why there are two programming languages. You can start with either Python, either R, but based on your choice actually, in which domain you want to switch your career, whether you want to be a data analyst, whether you want to be a complete data scientist. Let's say you are thinking like, I want to be a data analyst only, I don't want to explore the neural network, generative AI, these are the thing. That time choosing R programming language would be fine. But if you want to be a complete, let's say, data scientist, if you will be working with, let's say, machine learning, deep learning, generative AI, that time I will suggest start with Python programming language, okay, because all kinds of library you will get here. Fine. Then after that, you should know some of the databases, because as I told you, inside data science, everything is all about data. Now, if you want to work with the data, you should know about databases. It's not like that your company will give you the CSV data, or let's say JSON data, Excel data. So you have to at the end fetch the data from the databases, from different kinds of API. You also need to perform web scraping. After web scraping, where you will keep the data? Definitely in the databases. So you should master some of the databases. So there are so many databases are available. You can either learn MySQL, either learn MongoDB, Cassandra. It's up to you. But at least try to start with MySQL and MongoDB, because in MySQL you'll be learning how we can store the structured data. That means if I have, let's say, one defined structure schema, that time how we can store these other data in the MySQL. And when I'm talking about unstructured kinds of data, that time you can use MongoDB. Okay, so these two kinds of databases at least you can learn. Got it? Then the
Okay.
third thing, statistics comes into picture, because uh, now slightly we'll be moving to the machine learning part. And to start the machine learning, you need some knowledge of the statistics, because as I already told you, you have to do the data analysis, feature engineering, and to perform these are the things you need to know statistical analysis, like how we can plot, let's say, normal distribution plot, let's say q plot, bar plot, to understand my data. Let's say histogram you want to plot. Okay, so these are the thing you will be learning inside statistics. Now there are two kinds of statistics are available. One is descriptive statistics, and there's like inferential statistics. Okay, some basics actually concept you have to learn inside statistics. Let's say a variable, random variable, then population, sample, okay, mean, median, mode. So these are the technique I think at least you should know whenever you are analyzing your data. Got it? Then
Yeah.
next thing about the mathematics. Okay, mathematics, because many people will have the question, what kinds of mathematics I should know if I'm going into the data science field, right? So mathematics, you don't need to learn the in-depth mathematics. You can start with basics of linear algebra, basics of calculus, and basics of statistics, as I already told you. Okay, now inside calculus you will get like very advanced kinds of calculus concept, but at least try to learn the differential calculus, because whenever we'll be learning about gradient descent, uh, that means optimizer, like how it will reach to the global minima, how it will reduce the loss, this kinds of model. So this technique will help you to understand that concept. Got it? Then you can start with machine learning concept. So you can learn the supervised learning machine learning, unsupervised learning machine learning. Inside that you will get a couple of algorithm you need to know. After learning it, what you have to do, you have to do some projects. Now how we can practice the project, there is a website called Kaggle. So Kaggle is having actually different kinds of data set competition. You can pick up any kinds of data set. Based on that, you can analyze, different kinds of data, and you can build projects, right? So this will give you the hands-on. So it's not like that you are only learning and after that you are leaving that part. So that's how things won't be working. You have to analyze the data, you have to build the model, okay, you have to evaluate the model, you have to deploy this model, okay, then you will be learning the actual machine learning part. Got it? Then once machine learning is complete, start with the deep learning, because we know that currently in the market there are so many competition, and if I want to be a unique, let's say, candidate, I also need to know about the deep learning, because inside deep learning you will see computer vision, NLP, generative AI, everything will come, right? So definitely, as a data scientist, try to also learn about deep learning. Now you can start with artificial neural network. Then you can start with CNN, that means a convolutional neural network. Then you can start with NLP. Then you start with generative AI. Okay, so that's how we can go. Step by step. It's not like that you have completed the Python directly will jump into the generative AI. Okay, you can jump into generative AI, but what will happen actually? Uh, Going forward, whenever you will be implementing the project, you will get the difficulty for sure. You won't be having the good idea about the model. You won't be having good idea about the, let's say, technology, like how it is working and all. As a library, you can use them to implement
Yeah.
any kinds of project, but core understanding wise, I will suggest fundamentals are always required. Got it? Then the last thing about the cloud platform, because nowadays it is like very important, because whatever, let's say, model we are using, and if I want to host these at the model, so definitely we have to use the cloud platform. And even there are so many cloud platform, they are also providing the ML of services nowadays, LLM of services nowadays. We can use these at the, let's say, tools and technology, like to create a efficient application, okay, in the data science domain. Yes, so these are actually simple roadmap we can follow if I want to be a data scientist. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Bappy, for that complete roadmap. So I think Anubhav Pandey asked one question. Let me just show you this question. So he has asked how to convince the business about the ML solution. Business users are usually don't understand. That's true. Let's say any of the metrics. Also, everything cannot be shown in the visual formats. So how can we handle that situation?
Okay, how to convince the business about the ML solution? Business users are usually do not understand, let's say, any of the metrics. Also, everything cannot be shown in the visual format. See, uh, see, I know that nowadays actually company will prefer to use actually a large language model. Most of the use
Yeah.
cases actually.
Yes. Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
LLM is trending nowadays. All the tasks can be solved, okay, with the help of large language model. But see, whenever you are using this kinds of large language model, you also need to think about the cost. Let's say there is a problem statement. I can solve this problem statement with the help of machine learning, and we know that machine learning is a statistical based, let's say, analysis. That means we create a statistical model, and this model size would be very less. I think in the kilobyte format. Maybe if you have worked with machine learning, you already know. So now if I want to host this model in a cloud platform, so my cost would be very less here, because I don't need to, let's say, take a good infrastructure here. I don't need any kinds of GPU based machine here. Yes or no? Right. But whenever I'm talking about large language model or any kinds of deep learning model, there you have to take this kinds of good infrastructure to host your model. Let's say you have created one product, it's fine. Accuracy is good. But you also need to think about the productionize your application. Right. And whenever you are doing the productionize, if your cost is increasing there, then what is the use of this technology? Tell me. Let's say I can reduce my cost 50% by using ML algorithm. Then why I'll be using deep learning there? So there is always one sentence I usually tell. If you can kill a bird with a stone, then why you will be using rocket lancer for this, right? So let's say I can solve one problem statement with the help of machine learning, and my cost is also reducing here. Then why I should use the deep learning, right? So that's how we can convince the business, okay, whoever actually giving you this kinds of, let's say, uh, i mean uh, questions. So you can convince like that. Okay, you can convince about the cost, the productionize your model. Okay, that's how we can give a proper, actually, let's say, proposal, okay, to them. I think that will help you a lot, okay, in this case. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope Anubhav, your question is answered by Bappy. Um, Okay, so Bappy, that's cool. So now, as you know, right, AI was not there, like it's not that popular of before
Mhm.
10 years or 15 years. If I say, it's suddenly became too much popular. Suddenly, people want to learn AI. Everyone wants to learn AI. So like,
Mhm.
like how that suddenly this boom comes up, like how it happened. I'd like to know about it. Like suddenly, why this AI booming is in the market? Why is
Okay.
this industry evolving on AI? What happened
uh,
suddenly?
yes. See, if I'm talking about 10 years back, okay, so tell me, 10 years back, did we have any good infrastructure? I think, 10 years
No.
back, people used to use, I
Yeah.
think, Pentium processor computer configuration, right? I think you already
Yeah.
know. That time
Yes.
resources was very less and data was also less. That time social media was not popular that much of enough, right? So that's why data was very less, resources was less also. That's why AI technology was there, but we are not aware about that. Only some certain people actually was using this particular AI technology. But when got actually popular, whenever we got actually good infrastructure, let's say good configuration machine, lots of data, okay, then people started using artificial intelligence. Because if I'm talking about AI model, so everything is all about data. How we are creating the model, we are feeding the data, we are teaching the model, and model is able to perform, okay, with respect to our task, whatever task we are assigning, right? Because it's a supervised learning at the end. You are supervising your model, okay. So that's why when data got actually, let's say, I mean, there was, when data started generating by the social media, whether let's say from Facebook, Instagram, okay, LinkedIn, because you can see all the peoples are using actually social media nowadays. Everyone has the account. So whenever they are
Yeah.
using the account, they are generating the data, right? So they are utilizing this data to train these kinds of model. So that's why I can tell, whenever we have this actually good infrastructure, good data sources, then AI got actually more popularity. And nowadays AI got more popularity because of the generative AI, because nowadays large language came in the market, right? So with the help of one model, actually we can perform multiple kinds of tasks. Chat GPT came, Google Bard came, Gemini came, right? So these are the application what people are using, okay. Let's say they're using it actually in a productive way. Now previously, whenever I was talking about, let's say, uh, developer, so what developer used to do if
Yeah.
they was facing any kinds of error, let's say they used to search on the Google, open different kinds of link, Stack Overflow, different kinds
Stack
of
Overflow.
website, right?
Yeah.
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 Now it is actually that much of effort you don't need to put. Only what you have to do,
Yeah.
copy the
Mostly the
error,
chat GPT.
paste to chat GPT, and chat GPT will give you the
Yeah.
answer, right? So nowadays technology is like very easy to use. Everyone has the access to the technology. But previously we didn't have this kinds of, let's say, ability. Okay. So yeah, that should be my answer in this case. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Bappy, for your answer. So Sandeep Kumar Mahato asked one question. I'm gonna show that here. I hope it's visible for you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible now. I think some network issue. Yes. So can you see the question, Bappy?
Okay, I don't know. Oh. Yes, I think we can start again.
Yeah. So can you see the
So I
question?
think there are some question you can take. Yes,
Yeah, it
yes.
is there.
Okay, so there is a
Question is
question I
visible
can
for you.
see. Hi team, I wanted to ask, yeah, how we can decide which data is required to be gathered for a given problem statement, and where to find the extract those data from. See, it depends upon your use cases. Let's say you want to build a, let's say, what you want to build a, let's say, chest disease classification model. Let's say you are working in the medical domain, okay. That time you will be working with the images, definitely, like medical images. Now why you will get these kinds of images? Let's say I'm working with chest disease classification. I want to classify whether my chest is affected with adenocarcinoma cancer or not, or let's say this is a normal chest. That time I have to collect the CT scan of my chest. Now if this image is available over the internet, let's say there are so many data provider you will I think see, so I think they will take some money, but they will give you good quality of the data. So you can ask your company, or if you're like building individually this project, you can purchase this kinds of data. Even nowadays you no need to purchase, lots of data are already available in different website. Kaggle is there, RoboFlow is there, right? So these are the website will give you free access to the data. Apart from that, you can also use large language model to generate the image as well. Like we are having multi-model nowadays. If you give any kinds of prompt, it will give you different kinds of image, right? So that's how we can collect your data. After collecting the data, what you can do, you can, annotate the data, and you can start implementing your model. Okay. Yes, that's how you can decide which data set is required, okay, to be gathered. Sandeep Kumar, I think
Ye-
you got your answer. Hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Bappy. I hope Sandeep, your question is being answered by Bappy. So yeah, I think we can continue with that now. So Bappy, like you know, right now people are more coming in AI and all, right? That already we have
Hmm.
discussed. So there are a bit uncommon question comes up that HDs also wanted to come in data science role because they are also thinking like yeah, the AI is also
Hmm.
booming now and it's giving good pay for them, right? So they can be
Hmm.
join in this AI also because already they know the
Hmm.
coding part and everything. They have that technical background. So what should be
Hmm.
the suggestion for them specifically? If I say for HDs,
Okay,
already
HDs.
have
Huh.
some experience on HD roles.
See, for HDs, I will say it would be easy for them to come inside data science field because they are already familiar with technology. They're already implementing the product. And if you are a SD, if you want to be a, let's say, AI developer, so I'll suggest, yes. See, programming wise, everything you have clarified. Now, try to learn about that AI. Like, I mean, I already given you the roadmap, proper roadmap, like what are the steps you have to follow. So it would be easy for you to complete each and everything in a short period of time, right? Because if you're a HD, you already know about data structure and algorithm. Okay, you already familiar with different kinds of algorithm, different kinds of data structure. Okay, so again, if you're coming inside AI also, you will get different kinds of algorithm, different kinds of data structure, right? So it would be easy for you to learn, right? Now, if you're a SD, if you want to switch your career, so definitely you can do. For this, you should follow the certain roadmap. Okay, and if you're looking for any kinds of proper roadmap, if you're looking for any kinds of free content, okay, I think you know I'm already creating lots of content. If you see my channel Code Commander, there I'm putting content related Python, generative AI, machine learning, deep learning. We have lots of plan actually in future. So here we'll be integrating each and everything. Let's say you need a deep learning course, free course, you need a I mean free machine learning course. So everything would be available in just one place. Okay, you don't need to go anywhere for this, right? So you can follow this channel if you want to, let's say, switch your career to the data science. If you want to learn about generative AI, we have created a good content there. If you check the playlist.
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Anubhav Pandey has some questions. Let me just bring that question to you.
Does hub backed solution work for X example? I understand that the given problem statement will be requiring 7 features. Yet to do unavailability of the sensors, I end up with 6 features. I'm more concerned. Unavailability of the sensors. Okay. See, in case what you can do, see, if you are having, let's say, one problem statement, and if you need this kinds of data, let's say somehow you're able to collect, let's say, 6 features, and rest of the features you are not able to collect. That time, what you can do, again, I told you, now you can also generate these other features with the help of large language model. It is also possible, right? And let's say you, in case you are not getting that, what you have to do, see, somehow you have to gather the data somehow, whether you are doing manually, let's say, I mean, what I can say, manually, let's say observation, or let's say manually creating the features. But at the end, you have to create the features for this, right? And whenever we're talking about sensors, okay, sensors data. So you need actually, let's say, 7 to 10 features. So definitely you should have 7 to 10 sensors in there. Okay. Otherwise, how I will decide what kinds of value I might get, okay, from these kinds of, let's say, sensors and all. But whenever I'm talking about any other data, let's say I'm talking about, let's say, any house pricing data, or let's say any other kinds of data, which can be done by the human itself, which can be done by the LLM itself. That time you can use, these are the, let's say, way to generate the data. But sensors data is like more, what I can say, sensitive data. Okay. So for this, definitely you should have all the sensors running, and this sensor will give you, let's say, whatever number you have to store in a database, and you can build the model. Got it?
Yeah, I think because sensor we generally use in cars and different vehicles.
Uh-huh.
So if
Yes.
there is unavailability of the data, then
Yeah,
such cases we should not.
let's say I can give you one scenario. Let's say you want to collect the speed of the car. Let's say in each and every moments. Let's say whenever you are pressing the brake, whenever, let's say, you are operating the steering, whenever, let's say, there are traffics. Okay, so what would be the speed of the car that time actually? So definitely, I'm not sure actually how to get the value as a human. Even it is also not possible for the LLM to give you the proper output, right? So if you are, let's say, if you want to get this kinds of environment kinds of data, the real time environment data, that time definitely your sensor should be up and running. Okay, otherwise, if you build any kinds of model, this will, work as a POC model. Okay, demo model. So you can't use this model in the production or in the real world use case. So for real world use case, definitely you should have proper sensor install. You should have proper, let's say, I mean, all kinds of, let's say, I mean, input installed. Okay, then you will be able to get the data, and that data you can use for the, I mean, productionize your application. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Bappy. I guess Anubhav, your question is being answered. So I think another guy pinged us. I think the question is about generative AI roadmap. Let me show you the question. So I think that's my next question, anyways. So I think
Okay. Hi there. I'm a complete beginner and interested about generative AI. Could you please share it and please explain about the AI agents? Yeah. Uh, Rivan. Yeah, Rivan, I
yeah.
think, yes. Yeah. So if you have, like, if you're a beginner, if you're, I'm a complete beginner. Yeah. So if you're a complete beginner, I already told you. See, if you want to start your career with the AI, so first of all, you have to follow certain roadmap. It's not like that. Let's say you have completed the Python programming and directly you are jumping to the, let's say, generative AI. You can do it, but I already told you now. Whenever, let's say, you will be working in the company, that time actually will get the difficulty for sure. Because let's say if I want to understand about generative AI, inside generative AI, what we have the large language model. And now how large language model works, if you want to understand how large language model works, then you have to go back. Okay, go back to the history, like how large language model came in the market. So I think you heard of about like transformer architecture, right? Encoder decoder attention mechanism. So how this architecture works, if you understand this architecture, now you will be able to understand the LLM model, how LLM model is working. So in case, let's say, if your model is not working, if you are getting poor results, that time this understanding will help you how we can fix this kinds of, let's say, issue. Let's say how to fine tune these are the model. And whenever you will be doing the fine tuning, definitely you need the proper understanding of your foundation. Whenever you will be playing with the different parameter of the model, yes or no, right? So that time, so that is why I always suggest, first of all, start with the basic concept. Okay, start with actually Python, then machine learning, then deep learning, okay, then generative AI. Okay, that's how we can follow the proper roadmap. And again, I told you, we have the content. I already created a complete end-to-end playlist in my YouTube channel, Code Commander. If you just search Code Commander on YouTube, you will see my YouTube channel. So there, each and everything I've already clarified. Okay, before starting the generative AI, what are the technology you should know, and the proper actually structure actually course I have already published on the YouTube channel. Okay, that from there actually you can start with. So everything I've covered there. So from starting from I mean till advanced part I have covered. Let's say if you want to learn about LLM ops, so LLM ops kinds of content you will also see there. Okay, so make sure after this podcast actually you check that playlist. Okay, then you can let me know. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Revanti, your question is being answered. So um so Bappy, so what do you think about this stability of this industry, this Gen AI? Because if you know how the reality works is we are running maybe 4 lines of code just to call the pre-trained model do our job. And
Mm,
right, it's completely true. Right? It's not nothing special we generally do. So
mm,
like I have a doubt that how long it will sustain like this because uh, it's like it's not a ML, right? That where we are doing from our own ways, doing feature engineering, getting the data, visualizing it to
mm,
understand how it works, right? That was a hard task that we used to do in ML, typical ML. But GenAI,
mm,
everything is already ready for us. Just call it, use it, khatam. So now,
yeah. See,
my normal, yeah,
I got it. Your question. See, if
yeah,
you're telling inside I mean, GenAI, everything is ready. If you tell like that, it would be wrong because, see, I know that everything is ready. It's a large language model. You can do the inference operation. You can do the chat operation. Fine, it's fine. But let's say you have one unique use case. Let's say you have one custom use case. That time, what to do? Definitely, this model won't be working, right? Let's say
yes,
if I'm talking about chat gpt, if you ask chat gpt who is ds with Bappy, or let's say who is code commander, will it able to give the answer?
no,
No.
yes,
But let's say you want,
not
if
till
there
not.
is a use case, you have to build a chat bot for your website, for your, let's say, company. That time what to do? Right, that time what to do? Definitely I have to know how to fine tune these are the model. I have to know how to build a proper rag based system, okay, with these kinds of data. Because inside large generative I will see two kinds of tasks. One is like rag based application, another is like fine tune based application. Okay, now many people has the question, when I have to perform the fine tuning operation, when I have to perform the rag based operation. Okay, See, if there is a completely new use case, okay, completely new data, this data actually hasn't seen by your large language model, that time you have to perform the fine tuning operation, because fine tuning you only perform one time. Okay, let's say ChatGPT is trained till 2021, I think 2022. I think till this year actually they have trained that, I mean, model. Apart from that, if you ask any question, it won't be able to give the proper answer related that. Okay, now nowadays if you see, ChatGPT is getting more popular because it is also able to give you the answer related the current question. Like if you ask about the Olympic in 2024, it will give you the answer. How it is getting that particular answer? Because they have also integrated this kinds of RAG based architecture in the backend. That means what they're doing, whatever current data they are having, okay, they're creating the knowledge base, and in that knowledge base they're connecting the large language model. Okay, and that large language model is refining that knowledge base and it is giving you the proper answer with respect to that. Then there is another concept called agents. So with the help of agents, what you can do, you can fetch the real-time information over the internet. Okay, so these kinds of advanced techniques are available. Okay, so that's why I always tell, yeah, LLM is there, you can do most of the work, but at the end if you are building your custom solution, definitely you know about the technology, definitely you have to know about these kinds of foundation. Okay, this is required at that. Yes. And
Yeah,
in my playlist, actually, if you check that course, Generative AI course, I created one video called End-to-End Generative AI Pipeline. There, I have discussed each and everything you need to know about the Generative AI whenever you are building any kinds of LLM-powered application. Okay, please check it out, that part.
yeah, sure. I think Sandeep has some question again. Let me show you that.
How to decide which technique we should choose among ML, DL, GenAI models to solve particular business problem? Which techniques will give the more accurate results? Uh, huh. See, this is a good questions. This is a good questions actually. Uh, how to choose a good, actually, let's say, I'm sorry, how to choose actually model, whether I can choose the model from the machine learning, whether I can choose the model from the deep learning, or whether I can choose the model from the generative AI, right? See, as I already told you, let's say there is a problem statement and you are working with linear kinds of data, your data is linear, that time start with machine learning model. Okay, because machine learning model will give you this kinds of linear kinds of, let's say, functionality. That means if you see any kinds of machine learning model, these are the linear model we are having, so it can work better with the linear kinds of model, right? It's a statistical based model, and if your data, let's say, is a simple data you are using, that time machine learning model would be suitable for that. And whenever you are having unstructured kinds of data, okay, let's say you are working with images, text, that time start with deep learning model. So you can either use CNN model, I can use RNN model, and you can build your application on top of it. But let's say there is another use cases, you have to build a, let's say, a very powerful chatbot, or let's say very powerful application which can take actually multiple language as an input, which can also accept image as an input, which can also take, let's say, audios as an input, and it can process these other data as well. That time you can start with generative AI based model, because we know that large language model can support all kinds of data. Even we are having different kinds of multi-model as well, so we can use these as the model to build our application. But let's say if you are using DL algorithm, that time what you have to do, for one specific task you have to train one specific model. Let's say I want to train one model for the text summarization, I only need to train one model for the text summarization. Now if I want to do the language translation, I have to train another model for the language translation. Again, you are training multiple model here. Okay, and whenever you are training multiple model, it would be hard for you to productionize these are the model. Again, cost will increase there. So it's better to use one generative AI model, because it's a multi-model, multitasking model. We can do rest of our work, okay, with only one model. Okay, that's how we can decide, Sandeep.
Yeah, thank you, Bappy. I think Sandeep, your question is being answered by Bappy. So Anubhav has another question again. Let me just show you that. So his question is, his ML model is not able to capture the complex relationships. So can I use deep learning there?
My ML model is not able to capture the complex relationships. Can I use deep learning, understand the hidden layers, takes the complex nature, but still in industries, this is a black box in engineer. See, in that case, let's say if your let's say model is not capturing the complex relationship from the data. So what does it of mean? Like your data is a unstructured data, right? Your data is like more complex. In that case, definitely we know that we can use any kinds of neural network based solution, right? So if you are using neural network based solution, definitely your complex relationship would be captured by the model. So again, you can start with the deep learning. Now, I mean, I am not sure what kinds of use case you are implementing, whether it's a computer vision related use case, whether it's an NLP related use case. Okay. Based on that, you have to select the architecture. If you are working in the computer vision, try to select CNN based model, convolutional neural network. You will see there are different kinds of pre-trained model, ResNet 50, VG16, then Inception V3, MobileNet. So many algorithm you will see. You can apply this at the algorithm. Got it. But if your use cases, let's say you have to work with multilingual data. Okay, multilingual data. That time you can use generative AI based solution. Time series forecasting. See, if you are working with time series forecasting, then I will suggest start with these are the model actually. Recurrent neural network. Okay, because it can also capture the contextual information. Let's say because time series is all about time, like T1, T2, T3, and so on. Okay, it's like a, I mean, you are using text data because text is also like time series data. I mean, time series data. Okay, let's say now I'm speaking something, right? So I'm following one flow actually. Let's say whenever I'm telling my name is Bappy, so when I ask, let's say my, so I ask this question in the T1, then name T2, then is T3, and Bappy T4. Okay, so it's following one time series actually. Got it? So for this, I have to use RNN architecture for this. So if you're using any ANN architecture, CNN architecture, that only work in this case. Got it? Anubhav.
Yeah, yeah. I guess most of the questions are being answered by Bappy, and I think it's almost more than 30 minutes, right? So we have crossed our timings, anyways. But yeah, I think it was a fruitful session, guys, for you. Whoever joined this podcast, even if after this you guys can access this recording, it will be uploaded automatically, so that you can easily access it later. So, okay, I think Anubhav has his last question. Let me just show you that question. So, any issue in using in the industries? So,
Any issue in using in industries? I mean, I didn't get your question properly. What issue? Um, if you can write it properly.
I think he's asking about that using these neural networks or something.
No, why would be? I mean, there would be an issue. No, no, deep
Using
learning.
deep
Why there would
learning.
be an issue? Because let's say I have a problem, I have a use case actually. I need deep learning algorithm for this. Then why there would be an issue in the industry? So you have to convince. Okay, you have to convince. You have to tell them. So that is why we have to apply the deep learning algorithm here. Okay.
Yeah, I think Bappi, you got a good message here. That was a great
Yes.
session.
Suraj. Yeah. Thank you, Suraj.
Yeah, thank you, Suraj, for this comment. I think I will try to. I think Anubhav also told you many thanks.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you, Anubhav, for joining the session
uh,
and asking this kinds of awesome question. Actually. Yeah.
yeah. So I guess, guys, we're done for today. And thanks, Bappi, for joining the call. So we'll catch up again, guys. Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Tanmay, and thank you, guys, everyone. And always try to remember consistency is the key here. If you're not consistent enough, so things will be more difficult for you. But if you are consistent, let's say at least if you are completing certain, let's say learning, at least let's say try to create a deadline. Let's say today I will learn two new topic. Okay, that's how every day if you're learning two new topic, so at the end of the month you will see you have learned so many things. Okay, that's how you have to be consistent enough. It's not like that you started with a playlist, you are not completing that playlist. Okay, after some days, again things would be more difficult for you. So always be consistent. And trust me, guys, if you are consistent, I mean consistently learning something, definitely at the end you will achieve your goal. Okay, because whenever I was a learner, I was getting the same issue, the issue actually you are getting, okay, currently. So I'm telling based on my experience, guys. Okay, based on my experience, I'm telling you this thing. Okay, it's not like that I'm just giving you the motivation. No, because so many people ask me these questions like how to be a consistent. That's how you have to be consistent. You always need to, I mean, create a deadline for you. Okay, whatever work you are having, it's completely fine. At least try to dedicate 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 2 hours. Okay, for learning new technology. Okay, that's it.
Yeah, that's what even I can say, Bappi, because I followed you when I was in my college. Followed you, Sunny, and others, Krish sir, Sudhanshu sir, and all. So maybe I can say I learned a lot from all of you. And currently, I'm holding a good job in my hand, maybe because of that only. So yeah. I think it was, and thanks for that also to you. So I think Anubhav is also sent thanks to Man Bappy. So yeah, I guess thank you everyone. I think we are done for today, and have a good night, guys. Bye everyone.
Yeah, bye everyone. Good night.